You've heard countless stories about North Korea, but the reality inside this country is far stranger, harsher, and harder to believe. Just imagine living in a place where the internet isn't connected to the world, where your career isn't your choice, and even the way you cry could be monitored. A capital glowing with lights while the countryside sinks into darkness, a place where K-pop once became a weapon in a propaganda showdown. And today, we're going to explore 15 shocking truths about real life in North Korea, things few dare to tell, but that will leave you stunned from beginning to end. If you enjoy journeys filled with surprise and drama, quick click on the subscribe button will let you travel this road with us. And now, let's begin with the very first truth, a nation obsessed with control, where every decision is already set from the moment a child is born. Number 15. A nation obsessed with control. From the moment a baby cries for the first time, life in North Korea is forced into an unbelievably rigid framework. The Songbun system, an underground ranking of ancestry and loyalty, decides nearly every detail of one's fate. If you're lucky to be born into a favored family, doors to education, careers, and even marriage are open. If not, your life is almost locked into a cycle of limited schooling, hard labor, and poverty in rural areas. From grade school, children study not only math and literature but must also memorize songs praising the leader. Television, newspapers, and radio reflect only what the state allows. Even hairstyles aren't free, you can only choose among 28 approved styles. If you were living under those conditions, would you choose one to say, unbearable, or two to believe you could endure such discipline? And that's only the surface, because even things like Coca-Cola or a pair of jeans, many North Koreans never see in their entire lives. Number 14. Things you'll never see. In North Korea, what seems ordinary to us is shockingly foreign. Most people there have never even heard of Coca-Cola. Instead, they drink a knockoff called cocoa, syrupy sweet and nothing like the real thing. Hamburgers exist, but they are just bread with a thin slice of meat and some boiled vegetables, nothing like the saucy burgers we know. Jeans, especially blue denim, were once banned as symbols of capitalism. Though restrictions have loosened, jeans are still rare on the streets. For women, the shock is even greater. Basic products like pads or tampons are nearly non-existent in stores, as the economy focuses on heavy industry while neglecting daily essentials. Imagine walking into a store and realizing even the smallest, most obvious items are missing. How would you feel? And when it comes to love and marriage, the control is even more unbelievable. Number 13. Marriage under harsh rules. In North Korea, love and marriage aren't just private matters, they're tied to social rank and politics. Songbun ensures people from good classes can only marry within their tier, while those from lower backgrounds have almost no chance of rising into better families. Women often marry young, many just in their early 20s, while being single at 30 is considered strange. Gender roles remain rigid. Women are expected to be passive, letting men decide everything from proposals to wedding dates. And if anyone dreams of love across borders, reality is harsh. Marrying a foreigner is nearly impossible, as the state sees it as a threat to pure bloodlines. Stories like this are endless, and if you want to keep uncovering these hidden truths, don't hesitate to leave a gentle subscription. Because next, you'll witness a bizarre battle where music became as powerful as weapons. Number 12. A war of music. When people think of tensions between North and South Korea, they imagine nuclear weapons or loud military drills. But another strange battlefield existed at the border, the loudspeaker war. South Korea once installed dozens of huge speakers, each nearly 20 feet tall, blasting non-stop world news, calls for democracy, and yes, K-pop hits. The sound carried more than 12 miles, forcing North Korean guards to hear every lyric about freedom. Some were so shaken they risked defection just to hear more. North Korea fought back with its own loudspeakers, blaring revolutionary songs, praise for the leader, and insults at the South. Day after day, residents near the border were trapped in two waves of sound, one lively, one authoritarian, creating a tense but bitterly ironic atmosphere. If you were standing there, would you choose one to sway with K-pop, or two to chant along with the revolutionary songs? But music isn't the strictest part, because power in North Korea functions like a modern monarchy, where the throne passes from one generation to the next. Number 11. A modern dynasty in the 21st century. North Korea calls itself socialist, but its power runs like a monarchy. The throne passed from Kim Il-sung to Kim Jong-il, then to Kim Jong-un, and now the world's eyes turn to his daughter Kim Joo-ae, still a teenager yet already appearing at military parades and being called respected. Just like in ancient courts, citizens are forbidden from sharing the leader's name. The Jewish calendar begins with Kim Il-sung's birth year. The elite bodyguards are hereditary, trained to step with precise spacing to form a human shield. Behind the majestic facade are brutal power struggles where even family can become merciless enemies. Do you believe that in the 21st century, a nation can still run like a hereditary monarchy? And while the throne may be secure for the next generation, ordinary people survive on just a few dollars a month, a reality that chills outsiders. Number 10. Wages that defy belief. Can you guess how much the average North Korean earns per month? Just $3 to $10. A factory worker might make around $35, teachers slightly more, and even doctors, highly respected elsewhere, only about $105. Soldiers, the backbone of the country, earn only symbolic pay. Life continues because people rely on state rations, rice, cooking oil, housing, schooling, and health care. But the system is unreliable. Sometimes families go months without receiving rice or oil. Then the black markets, jangmadang, become the only way to buy vegetables, dried fish, or medicine, but at far higher prices than rations. The reality: power outages, food shortages, and no hot water through freezing winters. If you only earned a few dollars a month, would you endure, or find another way to survive? And amid such poverty, one fact terrifies the world: North Korea's massive military power, with millions ready to fight. Number 9. One of Asia's strongest militaries. Despite civilian poverty, North Korea maintains one of the most feared militaries. Since 2006, it has tested nuclear weapons, including a 2017 bomb believed to be many times stronger than Hiroshima. The standing army numbers 1.3 million soldiers, behind only China and the US, while reserves and militias bring the total close to 8 million people, about 1 in 3 citizens. To sustain this, men serve up to 10 years, women 7 years. Training starts in school, kids practice shooting, grenade throwing, and marching like in miniature boot camps. Can you imagine? A country with electricity for only a few hours a day still has the power to alarm world superpowers. And while most of the nation lives in scarcity, Pyongyang shines as if from another world. Number 8. Pyongyang, a gated capital of privilege. Pyongyang isn't just a capital, it's a mirror of privilege and power. With 3 million residents, only the most loyal are allowed to live there. The city flaunts massive projects: the Rijiyong Hotel, once planned as the world's tallest at 105 stories, the Arch of Triumph taller than Paris's, the Jush Tower soaring 560 feet, and the May Day Stadium seating 150,000 people, the largest in the world. Even the subway looks like a palace, lined with marble, chandeliers, and built 330 feet underground to double as a bomb shelter. From satellites, Pyongyang glows bright at night while the rest of the country lies in darkness. If you stepped into Pyongyang, would you feel awe or unease at the contrast between blazing lights and surrounding blackness? And behind that glow lies another paradox: vast highways with almost no cars. Number 7. Backward traffic in the capital. While capitals worldwide are jammed with cars, Pyeongchang's roads are eerily empty. You could stand on a multi-lane boulevard, look miles ahead, and barely see a vehicle. Cars are rare privileges for officials, the military, or the elite. Prices are astronomical, and permits nearly impossible. For the average citizen, transportation means buses, the subway, and especially old East German trains. Bicycles, once banned for women, are now lifelines. At intersections, instead of high-tech traffic lights, young female traffic officers in crisp blue and white uniforms direct cars with precise, dance-like gestures. Can you imagine walking in a vast capital where streets feel like an empty stage? But North Korea isn't only about scarcity. Hidden within are breathtaking destinations filled with history and nature. Number 6. Must-see destinations in North Korea. Most people think only of Pyongyang, but the country has more to offer. Keesong, once capital of the Goryeo dynasty, still holds royal tombs and 600-year-old wooden homes. Nearby is the DMZ, where just a few steps place you between two opposite worlds. For nature lovers, Mount Myohyang offers dramatic scenery and the International Friendship Exhibition, displaying tens of thousands of gifts from world leaders. Then there's Mount Kumgang, transforming with each season, cherry blossoms in spring, crimson leaves in fall, snow-white landscapes in winter. Would you rather lose yourself in mountain beauty, or stand at the DMZ to feel the heartbeat of history? Yet alongside the beauty are natural mysteries scientists still can't explain. Number 5. Natural mysteries without answers. In North Korea's northern mountains lies Lake Chan in the Chilbo Range, famous for strange phenomena. Its clear waters turn red or gray after storms, sometimes forming perfect circular ripples with no wind. Locals believe hidden powers lie below, while scientists suspect volcanic gases. Even more mysterious is Mount Piktu, rising 9,000 feet with Heaven Lake inside its crater. The water can rise several feet within days, then drop suddenly, shifting colors from deep blue to muddy gray without warning. Rumbling sounds echo from beneath, reminding researchers of the 10th century eruption that shook the region. Would you see these as magnificent wonders, or silent warnings from the earth itself? And alongside these mysteries, North Korea also preserves food traditions that hold centuries of culture. Number 4. Food that holds culture. North Korean cuisine is more than sustenance, it's heritage. The most iconic dish is naengmyeon, buckwheat noodles served in icy broth with boiled egg, cucumber, even pear slices. The long noodles symbolize longevity, cut by scissors at the table as ritual. Another classic is bulgogi, thin slices of beef marinated with soy sauce, garlic, sesame, grilled over charcoal for a smoky sweetness. On holidays, tables feature teak, chewy white rice cakes, plain or filled with sweet paste, symbolizing purity and prosperity. If you sat at such a feast, would you pick the noodles of long life, or the snowy rice cake of blessings? And after food tells its story, festivals reveal North Koreans' pride in overwhelming scale. Number 3. Overwhelming festivals. North Korea holds many celebrations, but none brighter than Day of the Sun on April 15th, Kim Il-sung's birthday. Streets flood with plastic flowers, fireworks light the sky, and tens of thousands dance in choreographed routines. Another is the Kim Il-sung Flower Festival, where hundreds of thousands of orchids form massive displays shaped like Mount Piktu, red flags, and national symbols. The grandest of all is the Arirang Festival at May Day Stadium, with 150,000 seats. Tens of thousands of performers move in perfect sync, flipping colored cards to form giant living murals of history and pride. Would you be more overwhelmed by endless flowers or by tens of thousands moving as one? But for tourists, behind the spectacle lies strict rules, where every step is controlled. Number 2. Strict rules for tourists. Unlike anywhere else, tourism in North Korea is scripted. Typically, 2 guides accompany visitors, not only to explain but to monitor. Wandering off alone is forbidden. Photography? Allowed only in approved spots. Pointing a camera at sensitive areas is off limits. Meals are preset, and asking for changes may cause awkwardness. Tourists sometimes bring candy or chocolate, but sharing with locals is frowned upon. Shopping happens only in designated foreigner stores, with higher prices and curated products, making the trip feel like acting on a staged set. Would you feel like a tourist, or just an actor in a play already written? And perhaps the biggest surprise, the price of playing this role. Number 1. The cost of a special journey. One of the most shocking truths is the cost of visiting North Korea. Independent travel is impossible, only all-inclusive tours are allowed. A 4 to 5 day trip costs about $1,000 to $1,500, covering hotels, meals, transport, and entry. With round-trip flights from Beijing, the total climbs to $2,000 to $2,500. The internet doesn't exist, unless you buy an international SIM card costing nearly $200 for a small 3G data pack. Drinks, souvenirs, or extras like climbing Mount Myohyang cost more. It's an expensive journey, in sharp contrast to locals surviving on just a few dollars a month. Would you see it as a once-in-a-lifetime chance, or an overpriced ticket for only a few days? And now, after 15 shocking truths, it's time to close this journey and reflect on a nation both distant and mysterious. Thank you for staying until the end of this exploration of North Korea, where every detail of life brings both astonishment and reflection. We hope these truths gave you a new perspective on one of the world's most closed-off countries. And don't go too far, because in our next video, we'll open the door to another land, with secrets even more jaw-dropping.